cat eye gels. Oh man, I feel like these are some of the prettiest gels to use, but also some of the most frustrating because they always look so easy until it's not. So that's what this video is for. I'm going to be walking you guys through just the basics, how to hold your magnet, get certain shapes, designs, and looks. And we're just going to get right into it. For the first look, I'm going to be using this cat eye gel from Amazon. One thing to note, there are so many different cat eye gels out there. This one in particular, it has more of that metallic finish because it has the smaller pieces of that glitter. So if you're looking for just a subtle look or more of that glassy look, this is going to be a great option. I'm going to be starting off with a sheer base here. I personally love using cat eye over sheer colors. I think it just looks really good. And you're just going to apply it like normal. Just a normal gel covering your full nail. You do want to apply it evenly and you don't want it too thin. So not to the point where it's extra thick, but you want it to have a good amount of product on your nail. After that, I'm going to be using this magnet. This is kind of your standard magnet that usually comes with a cat eye polish, so that's why I chose this one. I'm going to hold this magnet parallel to the side of my nail, and I'm just going to move it up and down. That is it. This is real time. And what this does, it pretty much activates that cat eye effect, because when you first apply it, it just gives you that shimmery look. But when you do this, that's when it's going to let your nail kind of shift and give you that cat eye look. So you can go back and forth like I'm doing here. You can do just one side, but that is all I'm doing here. After that, you're going to cure your nail, and this is going to set that design in place, and that's it. See, I told you, it's not too bad. Once you know what's going on, it gets better. And don't worry, I'm going to show you guys this again, but just by doing that, this is the effect it's going to give your nails. Something else to note about cat eye, it's going to look so different based on different things. First off, the angle, it might look different shifting one way versus another way. When you have indirect, more subtle light, like right here, it's going to give that glass nail look versus direct sunlight, like right here. Look how different that looks. It's so sparkly. Ah, I love that. For the next example, I'm going to be doing the same thing, just using a different cat eye gel. With this one, you can tell right away it looks more glittery, and that's because the cat eye pigment is bigger. So here's just a side by side, the first one versus this one. Like I said, we're doing the same thing here. This time I am starting off with a blue jelly base, and then again, I'm going to apply that magnetic gel over my entire nail. Make sure you don't cure your nail here, by the way, just in case you're thinking that, because then you won't be able to move the pigment at all. Grabbing that cylinder magnet, again, I'm going to hold it parallel to my nail and just wiggle it up and down on the side. And then I'm going to show you a different angle here just so you can really see. I'm holding my nail and I'm just going to the side. You can repeat these steps a few times if you'd like, and then when you're done, you're going to pull the magnet going away from your nail. Go ahead and cure it, and that is it. Some people will call this the wide cat eye look. I refer to it as activating your cat eye. Either way, it's just making sure the cat eye effect is over your entire nail. So when you go to shift your hands back and forth, it's going to cover the entire area. I hope that makes sense, but moving forward, this is how I'm going to start off each design. Okay, now we're going to move on to how to move your cat eye in specific ways and patterns on your nails. First, I'm going to apply that cat eye over my entire nail. I'm taking that same little magnet and I'm going to the sides just to activate that pigment. And then we're going to be using another magnet. So this magnet is a double-sided one. One is a rectangle, the other side is a circle. These are really common too. This one is from Olive & June. Usually it's a gray one, but they work the exact same. We're going to start with the circle side. The main thing here, when you hold this circle magnet above your nail parallel to it, it's going to push the pigment away in a circular pattern. And you'll see this more when I'm actually doing it, but just remember, circle above your nail, it's going to push it away from that. So right here, I'm going to slowly approach the corner of my nail with the magnet, and I am holding it right above that. And this area, like I said, it's going to move away from the circle, so it's going to give me a circular cutout, like you can see right here. And what I'm going to do when I go to pull it away, you want to make sure you pull up and away from your nail so that it doesn't mess up your design. Because if you go across your nail or pull it in a different direction, it's also going to move the pigment in a different way too. So I'm holding it, pausing for a few seconds, and then pulling up and away. Once you're happy, you can go ahead and cure that. I'm going to do it to the other corner too, just so you can see that again, but I'm approaching the nail, I'm holding it right above. I let it hover for a few seconds, and then I'm going to quickly pull up and away from my nail. Once you're happy with it, you can go ahead and cure your nail, and as you can see, it gives you two circle cutouts. Alright, new nail, still using the circle magnet here. I'm going to start by hovering that circle magnet pretty far away from my nail and just slowly moving closer to it. And again, pulling away straight from the top. As you can see, that circle area is a lot bigger. So that's another tip for you guys. The further away your magnet is, the bigger that circle is going to be. So the one I just did, I held it closer, and that's why the circle was smaller. So if you want your cat eye to only be around the perimeter of your nail like an outline, then this is how you would do that. With a circle magnet, you're not limited to just circle shapes, by the way. You can also make more of a curved line. So right here in this example, I'm bringing the magnet towards the side of my nail, and instead of just holding it in one space, I'm going to move it slightly up and slightly down. And as you can see, it's going to give you a nice curved line shape. Here's another look at some of the shapes we just made, and based off this curve, I was like, oh, it should be pretty easy to get a French tip look. So with that same technique in mind, I'm going to take that circle magnet and start at the base of my nail near my cuticle and just slowly start pushing that pigment up towards the free edge of my nail to create that French tip. And I'm doing this slowly because I don't want to rush it and then have to kind of go back and try to fix it. So just slowly pushing it, and then I'm waving the circle left and right just to make sure it's going completely across my nail. This will definitely give you more of a soft, almost gradient French tip look, which I don't mind, but it's just not going to give you that harsh line just because this was the easiest way I was able to show you guys. I might try to do a more advanced cat eye video in the future, but I just wanted to keep this very beginner friendly. Here's how that looks as a full mani, you guys. That is so cute. All right, rectangle magnet. We're going to be using this side for the next few examples. The thing with this, unlike the circle, this is going to draw the pigment to it. So think lines. Think you hold it to that, it's going to go to that, versus the circle is literally the opposite where it repels it. But first, we're going to get that same wide activated cat eye look. So to do this, you're going to take your rectangular magnet. The magnet side is going to be up parallel to the sides of your nail. Essentially, it's the same thing that we did with that small cylinder magnet. After this, you're going to take your rectangular magnet and you're going to hold it above your nail where you want your line to be. I'm holding it diagonally across my nail, and I'm just going to pause there, hold it for a few seconds, and then again, when I go to pull it away, I'm going straight up and moving it quickly away from my nail so that it doesn't move around. And then right there, it gives you the perfect line. And you can make these lines in whatever direction you'd like. Right here, I'm making a vertical line to the side of my nail. You could do a horizontal line. Really, any of these lines are going to be great, especially for beginner, because there's less room for mistakes. I hope this video helped you guys out. I do plan to use cat eye a little bit more in my designs, so be on the lookout for that. And I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.